Picture this scenario. It is 11:30 p.m. You are sitting on your couch, completely relaxed, just watching a show.
Sounds pretty ideal, actually.
Right. 10 minutes ago, you were perfectly content. But right now, you have this intense, undeniable craving for, like, spiced garlic noodles.
Oh, I know that feeling.
You know the exact restaurant, the delivery app is already open on your phone, and your thumb is just hovering over the order button. It feels entirely spontaneous, like a random biological urge.
Well, I mean, it feels spontaneous to you, sure. But that specific craving, at that exact time, it is highly likely the result of an incredibly intricate engineered ecosystem.
An ecosystem that is just working invisibly behind the scenes to put that specific thought into your head?
Exactly. It's not random at all.
Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to this deep dive. Our mission today is to really uncover the hidden mechanics that dictate what you eat, when you eat, and how you buy it.
And we are exploring a fascinating framework today, originally presented by Assistant Professor Dr. Burham Otakanon. It's all about digital food marketing.
Yeah, but we are moving way beyond the idea of just, running a few targeted ads. We are looking at a total architectural shift in the food industry.
The word architectural is really the best way to describe it, I think. We are moving away from looking at simple, isolated transactions.
Like just handing cash over a counter for a burger.
Right, exactly. We're moving from that to examining this sprawling digital network. It is a space where the principles of design thinking completely merge with these massive data loops.
So every single interaction you have with a screen feeds into the next, subtly altering the entire landscape in real time.
100%. It's constantly shifting.
So whether you are a marketer, a tech developer, or just someone who, ordered late-night takeout and wonders why you always end up adding the extra fries.
Guilty as charged.
Right. This is going to fundamentally change how you view your next meal. To really grasp this, we need to look at how drastically the baseline reality of acquiring food has changed.
It really is a completely different playing field now.
Let's think about the traditional model from just a decade or so ago. It was essentially the physical stroll.
Ah, yes.
Walked down a street, smelled a bakery, saw a nice storefront, and just walked in. Geography was destiny.
Yeah, geography and physical presence were, they were the entire barrier to entry. But today, the modern food journey happens almost exclusively on a glass screen.
It's all digital.
Right. You have situations now where a customer might be a fiercely loyal regular of a specific restaurant, like ordering from them twice a week.
But they've never actually seen the building.
Exactly. They have never laid eyes on the physical brick-and-mortar place. The brand exists entirely in the digital ether for that user.
Which totally blows up the old corporate mental models. I always push back on that classic marketing funnel idea they used to teach.
Oh, the funnel. It's so outdated.
The old assumption was so arrogant. Brands thought of the customer journey like a giant water slide.
The water slide. I love that.
Right. They just buy a billboard to drop you in at the top of the funnel, gravity takes over, and they expect you to just slide perfectly down into the transaction pool at the bottom.
And the user was assumed to be entirely passive in that model, just along for the ride.
Exactly. But that linear funnel is purely the brand's fantasy.
Yeah, it has absolutely nothing to do with the customer's actual reality. The modern digital journey is incredibly chaotic. It isn't a water slide at all.
No, it's a pinball machine.
That is a much better way to visualize it. I mean, when someone gets a craving the ball entering the machine, they don't just drop straight to the checkout.
They bounce off a menu, hit a bumper over to a review site.
Get distracted by a text message, maybe close the app entirely, and then they might come back 3 hours later because a push notification acted like a flipper.
Shooting them right back into the game.
Exactly. It's a highly nonlinear path.
And if the customer's journey is the pinball machine, the whole digital food ecosystem is the entire arcade. It is this massive, intertwined playing field.
Where everyone relies on one another. You have ingredient suppliers, cloud kitchens, delivery platforms, payment gateways, all feeding off the exact same data.
So knowing that the journey is this chaotic pinball game, how do all these invisible flippers and bumpers actually guide that ball to the drain? How does that craving actually turn into a hot meal at your door?
Well, it starts with discovery, but the mechanism for discovery has fundamentally changed. We used to search for food using text on Google, right?
Yeah, typing pizza near me.
Right. Now, discovery happens primarily on short-form video platforms, and there is a profound psychological reason for that shift.
Because text requires actual cognitive processing. You have to think about what you want to type.
Exactly. But a fast-paced, high-definition video of a cheese pull or a sizzling pan of noodles, that bypasses the cognitive brain entirely.
It goes straight to the limbic system.
Yeah, it triggers a visceral biological response before you even consciously realize you're watching an ad.
It manufactures the craving instantly. You see the steam coming off the noodles, your brain releases dopamine, and boom, suddenly you are hungry. The pinball is in play.
But you don't buy immediately off that raw emotion. Usually, anyway. You bounce over to the background voice of the modern internet.
The review systems.
Yes, because a viral video creates desire, but reviews create trust. Social proof acts as this underlying stabilizer throughout the erratic journey.
You need a stranger on the internet to validate that the visceral craving you just experienced won't result in a terrible meal.
Precisely. You need that reassurance.
Right, so the craving is validated. Now we hit the gatekeepers, the food delivery apps. This is the crucial translation layer.
It translates, I want to eat that, into my order is confirmed.
But wait, once you open that app, you are basically stepping onto their turf, right? They dictate the reality you see.
Completely. What's fascinating here is that once you enter a delivery platform, you are navigating a heavily curated space. Algorithms ultimately dictate visibility.
It is definitely not a neutral directory.
Not at all. The app is running complex, real-time calculations. It weighs the time of day, the local weather, your specific past order history.
And even the preparation time of the restaurant, right?
Yes, and the availability of drivers in a 3-mile radius. It crunches all of that instantly to decide which 3 restaurants appear at the top of your screen.
And if you aren't in those top spots, you essentially just don't exist.
Which is terrifying for a restaurant owner, obviously.
But incredibly seamless for the user. And that seamlessness is the whole point. Let's take the checkout process. This is where the industry realized they were losing massive amounts of people.
Right. The ultimate friction point was physical effort.
Exactly. It's the speed bump that wakes up the rational brain. Think about late night ordering.
Let's hear it.
If I'm half asleep on the couch and I decide I want a pizza, but I have to physically stand up, find my wallet, pull out a card.
And type a 16-digit number into your phone.
Right. My rational brain wakes up. I think, wait, do I really need a $20 pizza at midnight? And I abandon the cart.
The friction gives you time to think.
But if the app uses facial recognition to instantly process a digital wallet payment, the rational brain never gets a chance to intervene. The barrier is gone.
By removing the friction of payment, they keep you in that limbic, desire-driven state. And once that frictionless payment clears, the real ecosystem magic begins.
Moving from transaction to loyalty.
Exactly. This is where we shift into long-term loyalty through customer relationship management or CRM. But modern CRM isn't just like a database of email addresses anymore.
It is the system's memory. It remembers the nuances of your behavior.
It remembers that you ordered spicy noodles on a rainy Tuesday.
And more importantly, it knows to offer you a slight discount on those exact noodles the next time the weather API detects rain in your zip code.
It personalizes the environment so effectively that it breeds a kind of tribal brand loyalty. One-time buyers turn into organic advocates who leave those 5-star reviews.
Which in turn feeds the discovery phase for the next user. It's wild. But hold on, all this dynamic visibility, the hyper-personalized offers based on weather patterns, the instant checkout, none of this is happening manually.
Oh, definitely not.
Right, like a marketing team isn't sitting in a room pulling these levers for every individual user. Let's look under the hood at the machinery powering this.
Well, the ecosystem relies on 2 invisible engines working in tandem. The first is data analytics, which really functions as the brain.
Just reading signals to understand the what and the why?
Yes. Its job is to ingest massive amounts of signal noise and find the patterns. It looks at behaviors, cart abandonment rates, peak demand hours. But analytics fundamentally looks at the past and the present. It tells you what just happened.
So if data analytics is the brain looking at what just happened, the second engine has to be artificial intelligence projecting forward.
Precisely. AI goes beyond reading data. It predicts and creates. Within this food ecosystem, AI is what allows for real-time dynamic pricing.
So if there is a sudden spike in demand for a specific ingredient in a neighborhood,
The AI can incrementally adjust the price to optimize margins without human intervention. It can even dynamically generate promotional imagery.
wait, really?
Oh yeah, altering the lighting of a burger photo on your app based on the time of day you're looking at it, just to make it more appealing.
That is slightly terrifying. I want to zoom out for a second to really conceptualize the architecture here. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the traditional linear supply chain completely disappears.
It does. You have upstream players like farmers and ingredient suppliers feeding into the business core, the kitchens.
And those connect to the digital touch points,
Hmm.
the AI, the delivery apps, the seamless payments, and that finally hits the customer experience.
But the most vital concept from Dr. Durham's source material is that this is not a straight line. It is the loop.
Right. Value doesn't just end when the customer eats the meal.
Exactly. That consumption generates data, a review, a reorder rate, the time of day. That data flows all the way back upstream to the beginning. It tells the kitchen what to prep tomorrow, and it tells the algorithm what to promote next week.
Every single cycle makes the entire system smarter. It is a continuous circulating loop.
Yes. But here's the thing. A highly efficient, AI-driven, continuously optimizing data loop sounds incredibly cold.
Yeah, my concern is if you just let the algorithms run wild, optimizing strictly for data efficiency, you might end up with maximum profitability but absolutely terrible, soulless food.
Hmm.
How do human beings actually steer this machinery?
Well, you steer it by overlaying human-centered design thinking directly on top of the tech ecosystem.
Because the tech is just the vehicle, but design thinking is the compass.
Right. You have Dr. Burham's 5 steps of design thinking mapping directly onto this tech.
Huh?
Instead of starting with what the kitchen wants to cook, you empathize. You start by understanding the user's friction.
But in a digital ecosystem, you don't do this through small focus groups. You do it at scale. You listen to thousands of voices simultaneously via social media and CRM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You scrape sentiment, and then you move to the define stage.
Mm-hmm.
You use the data analytics engine to transform all those raw signals into clear problem statements.
Finding the actual signal in the noise. Like, you might discover that office workers in a financial district are consistently searching for plant-based lunches, but abandoning their carts because delivery times are too long.
So the problem isn't the food, it's the logistics. Once you define that, you ideate. AI and marketing teams rapidly brainstorm menus and pricing solutions.
And then comes a prototype phase. But the beautiful part of this modern ecosystem is how fast you can build that prototype. You don't need to sign a commercial lease and build a brick-and-mortar restaurant to test a salad concept.
No, you bypass the physical world almost entirely by using cloud kitchens.
I am obsessed with this concept. Cloud kitchens are basically a tech company's beta testing sandbox, but for physical food.
It's a brilliant way to fail safely and cheaply.
Right. You rent a small station in a shared warehouse kitchen. You create a virtual brand with AI-generated logos. You launch it on a Tuesday, and by Thursday, you have real market data.
And if it fails, you don't go bankrupt. You just pivot the ingredients and launch a virtual taco brand from the exact same counter on Friday. That leads right into the final stage, test.
Using repeat purchases and community feedback, which immediately feeds back into the empathize stage, the loop continues.
It allows for an unprecedented speed of iteration.
Okay, so what does this all mean? We have rapid iteration, deep data insights, frictionless transactions, but with such a powerful, rapid system, things can easily go wrong if the system's compass is off.
It is the dark side of the ecosystem. Businesses can easily fall into what Dr. Burham calls the 3 traps of digital empathy.
Oh, right, because the digital landscape creates a very dangerous illusion regarding how well you actually know your customer. What's the first trap?
Confusing data volume with true understanding. Just because your dashboard shows 3 million data points, you think you understand the human behind the screen. But knowing what customers do doesn't mean you know why. Confusing metrics with empathy is an illusion.
Let's go back to our midnight pizza example. The analytics engine logs that a user ordered a massive pizza at midnight. But why did they order it? Were they celebrating with friends? Or alone, deeply stressed, and stress eating?
The data point looks identical on a spreadsheet, but the human reality is diametrically opposed, which leads to the second trap. Ecosystems naturally pull toward being business-centric rather than human-centric.
Right, the algorithm's naturally optimized for sales.
Exactly. If you don't intentionally design the loop to care for people, it inevitably just serves numbers. And that brings us to the third trap, the double-edged sword of speed.
Because rapid iteration without empathy just means doing the wrong thing very, very efficiently. You are basically scaling a mistake.
This raises an important question, right? It forces an ethical reckoning. We're looking at 2 paths of design here, AI and ethics.
Because the tools design thinking and AI are completely value neutral, the real question is, for whom are we designing?
Exactly. The first pass is manufactured hunger, and it's highly exploitative. It's when a platform uses psychological vulnerabilities, like late-night impulse ordering, by removing all friction to bypass rational thinking.
They realize your willpower is low at 11:30 p.m. and hit you with a targeted push notification. You weren't physically hungry, the app just engineered a weakness.
But the alternative path is solving real hunger, using the exact same algorithms to match food surplus with societal scarcity.
Or introducing what the source material called positive friction to protect user well-being and health, which I initially struggled with. Why would a business ever add friction and stop a sale?
In a short-term mindset, it seems crazy. But to protect the user's health, maybe you add a prompt that asks, you usually order a side salad with this, want to swap out the fries tonight?
Ah, so you sacrifice a minor impulsive transaction tonight to maintain trust and keep the user in the ecosystem for the next 5 years. That makes total sense.
It all comes down to Dr. Burham's 3 golden rules for modern food marketing.
Let's hear them.
Rule 1. It's a loop, not a line. What you learn today must adjust tomorrow's menu and messaging. Rule 2. Connect everything. Experiences and data must flow seamlessly across all digital touchpoints.
In Rule 3.
Design responsibly. Optimize for long-term human well-being, respect privacy, and use transparent AI. A healthy ecosystem sustains everyone.
This has completely rewired how I think about something as simple as ordering dinner. Thank you for helping navigate this massive landscape.
It's a powerful machine. It's all about how we choose to direct it.
To you listening, thank you for joining this deep dive. But before we sign off, I want to leave you with one final thought to explore. We've talked a lot about the data your phone gathers, but think about wearable tech.
Oh, like smartwatches tracking heart rates and sleep cycles.
Exactly. So what happens when the delivery app's AI ecosystem finally merges with your wearable health tech? In a few years, when you open that app, will the algorithm hide the burger and only show you salads because your watch said your cholesterol was high this week?
That is quite the scenario.
Right. And if it does, is that the ultimate form of positive friction caring for your health? Or is it a terrifying algorithmic overreach into your biological autonomy, something to mull over the next time you order?